Fantastic. Well, Furkan, it's very, very great to be here. We're incredibly excited to talk more about the Turkish Design Council and the work that you do in entrepreneurship and the really ambitious project with that. We're here in a beautiful venue. And before we start, we just thought it might be useful to give a little bit of background on our project and what we're doing with the OxFounders Society, and then launch into the discussion. So I think if Morgan, you want to say a little bit more about OxFounders and what we do.
Yes, absolutely. Very happy to. So OxFounders started last year as sort of an ambitious project of a couple of finalists, which was really where the focus was really to centralize all the different Oxford resources related to entrepreneurship and to bring some new dynamism into an environment with a lot of very, very talented people, but sadly not much in the way of connecting them to each other and to investments and resources from outside the UK. And we had a couple of really great events, grew a membership to over 1,000 people. I had founders of Starbucks come in, of Supercell, Nanopore, etc. So it's been really good, and this year the idea has really been to take the project global and to go to some of the most exciting markets in the world and create really cool events there that would allow, again, that connection of local entrepreneurs to funding from the UK and from outside the UK as well. And we just had our first event this autumn, which was a highlight. Istanbul has really been a place we'd wanted to go for a long time because of how much was going on in the ecosystem. So yes, we were incredibly excited to have this event, and I'm very glad now to be joined by Furkan and to be here in the Turkish Design Council as well. So if you want to provide a little bit of background on that as well, that'd be great.
Well, first of all, welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you.
And we are here in Kuzguncuk, one of the best neighborhoods in Istanbul. And we are very, very delighted to welcome you in our headquarters. So as Turkey Design Council, we try to raise awareness around design and design-related disciplines. And well, why we are focused on that? The most main reason is to leverage our soft power as a nation through design and culture. And we try to connect design with other disciplines like leadership, entrepreneurship, and other key areas to make meaningful projects and connections. And so that's why we actually met with each other. And as Turkey Design Council, we try to make design entrepreneurs achieve in the sector and in the business world. And we try to communicate design with entrepreneurship and to make and to bring out the best projects, the best startups in our country. And we try to develop our students around those topics as well. So thank you for coming again, and I'm very delighted and very excited to be with you guys.
Fantastic, likewise. I guess my first question would be about the importance of the intersection between design and entrepreneurship. A lot of times, certainly in the UK and in a university context, we don't really hear much about design schools and art schools interacting with entrepreneurship. And it'd be really great to get a sense of why that's important and what that intersection can look like.
Well, design education actually formats your brain into creative thinking and thinking outside of the box. And it's very useful in design-related sectors or disciplines, but it's very useful in startup ecosystem as well. So, because there is a reason, a concept that's called design thinking, because it's a thinking with people. It's you have to take in consideration of every factors in your surroundings, and you try to come up with the best possible solutions, and you try to define problems. And it's very similar to entrepreneurship. So that's why we are trying to deal with design-led startups, and we are trying to connect designers with entrepreneurs and startups as well, because the traditional education divides disciplines, but right now in our in our age, people need to be multidisciplinary, and we don't see entrepreneurship as a for-profit endeavor, but we try to make social entrepreneurs, develop social entrepreneur and entrepreneurship startups as well. So that's why it's important for us, because when a two great system collides, we try to we can create a better outcome, and we can create a more impact on different sectors as well. So that's why we are trying to do. We are trying to achieve a compound interest between those two disciplines, and we try to create more impacts in our society.
That's really interesting, because I think it reflects particularly well on the current project that you're doing, and it's one of the largest scale restoration projects in the world after the earthquakes. And I've heard a bit from you before, but I'd love you to explain a bit more how entrepreneurship has really helped, and talk a bit more about that project in general and as it relates to the startup ecosystem.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is a state of mind, and you have to put things before people expect it from you. So in Hatay and in Adıyaman, we had a very severe earthquake in February, and 11 cities have impacted from the earthquake, and it is a very huge amount of destruction has happened. And in Hatay, the city we are currently working on is one of the most ancient cities in the world, is the key point in the western east trade routes. And a lot of empires and civilizations have passed through those cities, the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, Ottoman Empire, and now Turkey. And it's a very important place for different cultures. And so, and then it's an important city for Turkey as well. So, but the sad thing about the city is it's almost completely destroyed from the earthquake, and we need to create a new city in the historic center and other populated neighborhoods. But it's a unique project, It's an ancient city. There's a culture there, and people has memories, and we have technical problems, physical problems as well. The land has slighted like 8 and 10 meters. The all land has moved towards south. So we have to gather the best people from the relevant disciplines together, but we need to put something on the table as well. So we can gather up and talk for like months. How should we do this? And what's the principles? What's the code of making things again? But people are waiting. People are waiting in shelters, and people are waiting for their homes. So we have a time. We have a time pressure on our shoulders. So we have to put things on the table. So we have to think like entrepreneurs, and we have to think like designers. We have to get the best information and best possible knowledge from the best people in different disciplines, and we have to move forward. We have to put things on the table. We have to create projects. And right now we are working in Hatay with 13 different architectural offices, including Foster & Partners and BRK Ingalls.
Okay.
And we have really made an impact on those projects, because we are working with the best architect and urban planners in Turkey. And we try to get the people of Hatay, Antakya on the table, and they are communicating with us. They are supporting us. We are communicating with the government, the local municipalities as well. So, our entrepreneurship style in this project is like the important role of the civil society. in our previous talks, the civil society is very important for a healthy democracy. Because the government cannot do everything and cannot talk about everything. So civil society, the influencers of the society in different disciplines should come together and create an impact. So that's an entrepreneurship as well. It's an entrepreneurship for our country and for our social problems. Like I said, I see entrepreneurship as a state of mind, and I see design as a tool to achieve things and create things and communicate with each other. It's like a language. And so we are going agile, and we try to put the best project on the table, and we try to make it quick.
Okay, that's really interesting. I mean, it really seems that to be the best designer, you have to become an entrepreneur. And that's a really fascinating intersection. And I know that you mentioned also that there's a lot of international stakeholders involved in this project. And I wanted to hear a little bit more about how the Design Council is leading that process, is interacting with international interests. And we're going to speak a little bit later about BEDA and how you're involved with the European Design Associations. But it would be really great to hear about how they interact with this restoration project and how they sort of enter into this entrepreneurship mindset that you're talking about.
Well, so we have made a quick research on, people have experienced this. Japan has experienced it, and other countries have experienced similar things like Haiti and other countries. So, but all of these destructions has a unique side, because it's happening in different geography, different country, different city with a different background. So we made a quick research, and we laid out a quick plan to make the first engagements. And we are also working for this like the past 7 years. We are working on urban projects as well. We try to bring the best people to create the more meaningful urban projects for our country, for our cities. So that's what we have been doing for the past 7 years, and we are familiar with the process. But this time it's urgent and very important, and it's the responsibility is very high, because you are rebuilding a city. So when you create a story and create a layout perfectly, you can bring global engagement to our table. And since we are already engaged with global design community for the past 3 or 4 years, we are the member of BEDA, as you know. It was very easy for us, and people already know about the earthquake and the destructions. So when you talk about the story of Hatay and the story of us and our goal and ambition, they are taking it seriously. And we have signed protocols with the government ministries. So we have a legal background and base as well. And so that's about it. When you structure your base perfectly, you can engage with anyone in the world. And the best minds in design or making infrastructure projects, the project managers, are eager to give in these projects, because it's also an opportunity. You're rebuilding a 1,000-year-old city, and it's a one-time thing. It doesn't happen again anywhere in the world.
Well, that really seems like global collaboration, both in this project and in general, and in the values of the Turkish Design Council, does really come in. And that's something that, as OxFounders, we are taking this global, and we really do believe in as well. So that's an incredibly exciting perspective to see this. And as you mentioned, you are involved with BEDA, the Bureau of European Design Associations, and sort of on a broader scale, you're trying to bring design global. Would you say that this global focus for a design council, which is focused on design and entrepreneurship, is something very unique and something that makes you a luminary in some sense?
Not quite, actually, but because the BEDA is a very good community, a very good ecosystem, and we are learning from our partners in BEDA as well. In Portugal, there are other council and institution that serves a very good facility to design entrepreneurs. In Austria, there are design transfer program which connects the industry leaders with the best designers, because they cannot communicate great with each other. So they plays an enabler role on those business interactions. So, but as I said before, every culture and every country is different. So you have to get your own model to work in your own business sector, in your own market. So we started with a development project in Istanbul, and we collaborated with the Üsküdar municipality. We have created a space for designers to realize their projects, and they made pitch decks to us, and we selected them. We gave them offices, we gave them mentorship, and
wow,
we also helped them to get funding for their projects. But they are entrepreneurs around design related businesses. What we are trying to achieve, like one of the largest incubation center in Turkey is Istanbul Technical University's incubation center, the İTÜ Çekirdek. We have partnered with them like 6 years ago. We joined designers and entrepreneurs together to solve unique problems, because everyone's approach to a problem is different, and a designer's approach is a very unique, because it's a problem-led approach, and that's why what we educated in university for this, and it's very helpful for solving problems in businesses and startups. So it was quite well. It worked very well in those startups. And like I said, we are not unique, but we're trying to create a unique ecosystem in our country, and we partner with global partners, and we learn from them, or we make mutual projects, or we teach them sometimes. That's how we do things. And in BEDA, the Bureau of European Design Association, like I said before, it's a very nice community. The last year we have partnered with 3 organizations in a European Union project. We simply took European designers and Turkish craftsmen together. We have very antique crafts in our country, and they created an art project, which is now going all around Europe. It's went to Dutch Design Week, Barcelona Design Week. It's been here in Istanbul last year. They created a very unique project, and it's going to, like, you can take it as a fashion project. You can take it as a sector of home design. So we are trying to achieve different things in those intersection, design and entrepreneurship.
I want to bring it back to the ecosystem that you mentioned here in Turkey. I mean, the trajectory, especially for startups, is very much an upwards one. I mean, we were looking at recent reports, and in 2022, the VC investment in Turkish startups was at $1.74 billion, and it's constantly growing. I want to get a sense from you of where you think that ecosystem is going to go, and how the ambitious project of the Design Council to really raise awareness about the importance of design, how you're going to expand, and where your role is going to come into that as the startup ecosystem as a whole continues to grow and become much more important on a global level.
Yeah. So the startup ecosystem in Turkey is evolving very rapidly, and we have a huge service providers, like Getir, Yemek Sepeti, Trendyol. One of them is e-commerce, one of them is a service provider. We are a huge amount of exits in gaming, online gaming industry and startups. Also, one of our board members is has a gaming startup. He employs a lot of designers. So we see an opportunity in gaming design, and we try to develop students and human resources around those projects. But as I said before, we have a social responsibility as well. So like the past 10 years, a lot of architects have graduated from architectural schools because we have a boom in the construction sector. So there was too much architects around right now, but they are unemployed or underpaid. So we try to give them skills around other topics because they are familiar with software, they're familiar with design thinking, and architectural education is very hard. They are teaching you how to learn, and they're giving you feedbacks every week. So if you're an architectural student and if you would be an entrepreneur, you would do very good in entrepreneurship ecosystem because you raise like a rock. You're very stubborn, and we try to develop them with different skills, and we try to familiarize them different sectors. So that's one thing. We have a program in ITU as well. It's a design MBA program. So we simply give designers and business skills, educate them with business skills. So that's the social responsibility side of us, because we are an NGO. And as going to entrepreneurship ecosystem in Turkey, and we should we should develop our designers with technological skills and business skills, and we should develop our tech guys with design thinking, and because you have to know all of those disciplines. You have to be multidisciplinary to make the best projects. And Istanbul is a very nice place to live, and we have too many expats in Istanbul. So that's why actually it's also the center of the world. That's why the global entrepreneurship ecosystem is evolving in Istanbul as well. So we have a lot of international companies here as well. And it's going to evolve in the future years, I believe.
Great, well that's really, really exciting to hear, and I'm very glad to hear as well that you have a high involvement with young people as well with your design MBA, and that's really great work that you're doing here. But I'd like to wrap up the discussion, I think, with one last question on young people exactly, because I know that we obviously, as just recent graduates, are very involved with the university community. You obviously have the Design MBA. How else do you see the young community involved with the Turkish Design Council and design and entrepreneurship as a whole? Of course, as you mentioned, social responsibility is very big in our generation, and I'd be very keen to hear how you're trying to actively involve them as well into this great vision that you have.
So we have a lot of programs and a lot of events happening here. And we are also partner with the universities and like other projects and communities as well. And so we try to engage young community through our educations or through our media platforms and through our programs, that we try to raise awareness, being around design awareness and multidisciplinary thinking, design thinking, and entrepreneurship. And yeah, we have too many fellows, young fellows, volunteers. And when you make concrete projects, solid projects in the sector, they are being the part of it. They are experiencing a real world problems, and they're being part of solving those problems. So that's how we engage young community. We engage them with real world experiences, and we engage them with the education that they cannot get in their colleges or universities. And we create a network around here. So you saw the space. We have a co-working space here, and we have a design library in the back. And we are in this place is in a very central point in Istanbul. So it's open to everyone. We have a good community here, and we try to communicate with everyone here as well. And so it's a social. This place is a social project as well, and we have developers here. Actually, in summer we have very international developers coming here from all around to Europe or USA, and also design students communicate with them, sees them working, they engage with them, and so it's about it. We try to engage meaningful disciplines and meaningful people together to create better projects and better world for our future and for our country.
Fantastic. I'm just going to jump in with the last question. I think it would be really great to end this discussion on where you want to see the Design Council in 1 year and in 5 years with regards to entrepreneurship and the Turkish ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, I would like to see Turkish Design Council in 5 years that is a key part of European and Turkish startup ecosystem. And I want to see it as a enabler for other disciplines to take part in different types of entrepreneurships programs, because right now we have services as system creators are very powerful on the market, but actually everyone tries to give something to the world is an entrepreneur. So we need to make designers more strong in the entrepreneur, in the startup ecosystem. Firstly in our country and also in Europe and Asia as well. And so that's what we try to achieve. We need to play a key role in global design and entrepreneurship startup ecosystem. And we have to give startup ecosystem meaningful values and methods to make businesses better, to make our projects better. And we have serious problems ahead in the world, like the climate crisis, the population crisis. We work on refugees. We work on different problems in our country, for our country. And so maybe entrepreneurs from the 5 years from now, they need to be solving the real world problems. They need to put solutions to population growth and climate crisis.
Yes.
So that's what we investing in.
Well, thank you very much for what has been a really, really rich discussion. I mean, we got to cover a very wide breadth of things, from entrepreneurship and design and the intersections between those, to how you have directly applied that with your recent restoration project, the impact and position of the Turkish Design Council on a European and global scale and how that's very important for you. We've spoken about social responsibility, the involvement of young people, and the involvement of the ecosystem in the near future. So I just would like to thank you very much, Furkan, for this. This has been very good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And to echo that, I think we're confident this can be the start of a really exciting partnership and collaboration in the years to come. We're really excited about your project, your ambitious projects in Turkey and more globally, and we're very, very happy to be a part of that today and going forwards.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to Istanbul.
Thank you.
And I'm very delighted to meet you guys.
Likewise, and thanks for hosting us in your beautiful venue.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.